Hello, this is Frank Mandolini and thank you for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel, push the like button and leave a comment to let me know what you think about this interview. If you want, you can check all of the previous episodes on every listening platform and subscribe even there and leave a 5-star review. Thank you so much. Enjoy the video. Today's guest of the Last Minute Wrestling podcast is Daniele Dentice D'Accadia, as known as D3. We have seen him recently on AEW Dark and on the AEW programs. And hi D3, how are you doing?
Hi, how are you? Good morning for me because it's 9 a.m. here in the States, in Orlando. So I'm good. Thank you so much for inviting me. So thank you, Frank.
You're welcome. That's amazing to have an opportunity to talk to you because actually I got to know you, of course, not only throughout the AEW Dark, but also because a fellow podcaster of mine told me that he called one of your matches in Synergy Wrestling, I think, in Orlando. And he told me about this Italian wrestler that I didn't know about. So that was cool to be introduced by somebody else.
Okay.
So let me start immediately with an AEW question, since when we are recording this, we are a few hours removed from AEW All Out. Yep. And in the latest weeks, we've seen you fighting both in tag and single competition on AEW Dark. And how was that experience, and how did it all started?
Okay, everything started like during the pandemic situation. So the talent relation called me like in March, around March. Mm-hmm. So it was the first show without crowd and with the pandemic. So it was not able to understand who were positive or were negative and nothing like that. So it wasn't a test or nothing like that. So I decided, because it was the first days pretty much of the lockdown, I decided to decline the invitation. Of course, when you decline, you don't know if the opportunity come back. And usually I never decline anything about wrestling. At that point, it was something like really like, we don't even know what it is. So, if maybe I was positive or something like that. So I think they understood that, and they said like, no problem, you will have an opportunity in the future. And then August 12th, so after my daughter's birthday. And so that was a
congratulations.
Good and they called me back and they told me like, are you able to work in like the 2 tapings that we filmed the next 2 days? I said, absolutely, yes, I'm coming. And I did the first 2 matches though. So the one was the 6-man tag against the Dark Order, and then the second was against Lance Hoyt. So Lance Archer.
Lance Archer, yeah.
Yep. So my feeling, it was great. Last year I did like 3 matches with WWE too, and now I'm working 10 years, more than 10 years in this business. So definitely, I don't want to say like it's easy, because it's never easy in this business, but definitely like, I didn't feel that kind of pressure. Maybe because the atmosphere over there is great. So everybody, they're really kindly with you and gentle, and they put you in a situation that you have to do just your job. So that's really, really good. And maybe for that reason, I wasn't nervous at all. But yeah, a little bit pressure always you have it, because you want to prove your skills, and you want to prove that you're good, you can stay there. And I was pressured more for my country, because I know I was the first one in history working with AEW as an Italian citizen, and the first one that did both WWE and AEW at the same time. So nobody did it. So I knew it, that after all the people watched the match over there, a lot of medias were talking about, and in this case, like national newspapers too, I knew it. So maybe I was nervous for that reason, because when you represent your country, you want to, you represent an entire country, you want to do your best, and you want to make people proud, even if for small matches or, but definitely the sensations were definitely really, really easy. I don't want to say easy, but it was good. It was good because the atmosphere over there is really well. AEW created like a great product. I like the
Hmm.
place. Even the stadium is good. Tony Khan is amazing human being. Is really like humble.
You had the chance to meet with him or with Cody or the Bucks?
Yeah, yeah, we both, we both. I already knew with the Young Bucks because the first
Hmm.
match that I did here in the States in 2013,
Hmm.
the Young Bucks were in the locker room and
Okay.
they weren't that famous. They were
Yeah.
famous in AMD, but not that much. So, and then I met him like few times with also Hardcore. So it was not
Hmm.
the first time that I met the Young Bucks, but with Cody Rhodes, I had a chance to spoke with Cody after my first match, so
Hmm.
about feedbacks in general, and he liked it my
Oh,
striking, so my punches. He told
yeah.
me like great punches, kid, and with Tony just introduced myself and. So another guy asked me that Tony was curious to know what kind of permission I have to stay here. So if I'm
Oh, yeah.
permanent resident and stuff like that. So I said, like, yes, I have a green card, so I'm permanent resident. I'm not citizen. I'm not American
Yeah.
citizen. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I have a permanent residence, so I can stay here whatever I want, pretty much. Um, so that was the first impression.
Yeah.
Really, really good about that place.
I think for them it can be smart to like try. I don't know if using the word push is correct, but to put you to give you some screen time because of course,
Both is the right word, maybe.
yeah, 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 because now they are tapping into the Italian market as well. Now they are on Sky Sports in Italy, and
Yeah.
that would be great to have an Italian wrestler to be featured in because I think that could be huge. They could do a great business for both the AEW product and also for Sky Sports, of course, because they have a face to represent Italy.
I think it's great for everybody. Of course, for me, but
Mhm.
it's more I think for AW and the Sky Sports ratings. And we were talking about that. So I
Mhm.
mentioned this kind of deal that they have now with Sky
Mhm.
Sports in Italy, and they knew it. And I explained that it was great. It was a good idea to promote
Mhm.
Italian guy who have someone to represent Italy, even because you can focus the attention in our country more on
Yeah.
your section and not the other one. Because we have both WWE and AW. A lot of people probably know more WWE, and now AW came out, and I saw the pay-per-view yesterday, and definitely is a really great product. I think
Yeah.
AW working very well, and we were talking about that. So I think, and they knew I send them all the national newspapers and everything. So
Yeah.
now everything. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but they're just thinking about. They're thinking about maybe it's a good idea to call me more often, or maybe in the future sign a contract because, like you said, it's great for everybody and for AW because, for example, like usually that
Mhm.
usually wrestling doesn't go on the national newspapers
Oh yeah.
at all, and now with this appearance that I did, AW were on the national newspapers, not only my name but AW names too. So I
Yeah.
think is good for them to have that kind of publicity, and for Sky Sports because so many fans like text me and on the socials and send me like, if you sign it, we can see you like on Dynamite. We sign a with Sky too. So maybe a lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
they want to sign a deal with Sky just because they want to see you on Dynamite. So this kind of collaboration, or if I work more often or sign a contract with AW, can open
Mhm.
so many things. Even because maybe in the future they're thinking to do a tour over there
Yeah.
too. So you never know. That's why it's good. I think it's a good idea. Um, I was talking to them about it, and
Mhm.
I explain like what I think or what's is good for business, not just what I think. I think is good in general for business, and at the same time, they don't have to do any papers, legal papers or documents because I already have it, and I live
Yeah.
Florida, so I'm really close to them. So it's so many situations that put you in the right place at the right time, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's one of the most important things, as we know in life, to be at the right place at the right
Yep.
time. And if I can ask you, just a little bit about their process of selecting the wrestlers, because during the pandemic, probably during March or April, I remember that they were taping in Atlanta at the Nightmare Factory, and there were featured on both AEW Dark and Dynamite. There were featured a lot of wrestlers coming from that wrestling school, from Nightmare Factory. And now once the thing moved to Florida again, there were like yourself, probably wrestlers who are in the local scene of Florida who got this kind of chance. How does it work? Is there somebody from like talent relation who keeps an eye on the indies and calls you? Okay, and there is no way for somebody like to contact them without being contacted by them before.
Oh, if you know the person, you can contact him and try to see if there is any spot available, or
Mhm.
tell him that you available or you would like to have an opportunity, stuff like that, and they call you
Yeah.
back. In my case, see, I was lucky at the same time. Lucky or well, maybe I did a good job in the past, because
Yeah.
I work with a talent relation in this promotion. It was Power Factory, so it was Nightmare Factory now.
Okay.
So it changed name, but it was the same place in
Okay.
2017 and 2018 before I got injured
Okay.
on my ACL.
Okay.
And so I knew this guy, and I worked with him so many shows. So maybe for that reason, maybe he knew that I was in Florida. But they don't use only like local talent at all.
Hmm.
They call people sometimes from New Jersey and other parts. So if
Okay.
I think, of course, now they try to give, I don't want to say everybody, but they try to give the good talents, so an opportunity to work with AW, and then they see if they call you back,
Hmm.
it's means maybe they like you or they like something, and they don't call you back. They give you one shot and then that's it. But they give you a shot. So
Yeah.
that's, I like it personally. I like even the idea that they keep your name on it. So it's mean that they recognize the work that you did in the past, or the work that you're doing in
Yeah.
the indies or in general in your career. So I like that too. You have entrance, everything. They treat you really well. I think it's a great idea. They working really well with that product too.
Yeah.
And
Did you pitch? You're talking about entrances, and did you pitch something about your entrance, like the music or stuff like that, or they just do that?
no, music is a random music. I think nobody asked me about anything about music.
Okay.
Uh, I did it. I didn't ask too. So if you ask, you can pick music. My music, in my case, is custom music, so I can use
Mhm.
it. So if they want
Okay.
to, even my music, because it's my music.
Yeah. 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 You.
Doesn't have copyrights. That's the right word. It doesn't
Okay.
have nothing like that, so they can use it. But I don't think for now. I think for now they use like a random music, and I
Yeah.
didn't know they put on the Titantron behind my name the
Yeah.
Coliseum. Even they pay attention about the details like that, and that's nice. They send you like a questionnaire with all your resume or stuff that they can say during the comments.
Yeah.
So commentator. And so that's good too. So they can mention a lot of things that you did in the past or stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's
Talking about your past, you said you moved to Florida in 2013, and
I I moved to New York first.
oh, to New York first. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, but in the United States, let's say from 2013, and of course you were wrestling even before now, even before that time. And how did you start training? What was your journey from Rome, of course?
Yep. So I started training in 2008, and
Hmm.
my first match was in 2009, August 1st of
Hmm.
2009.
Okay.
Uh, and I started in Rome Wrestling Academy. So it was really simple. I always like wrestling, and my dream was to become a pro wrestler. So I tape it on Google, Academy, Wrestling Academy in
Yeah.
Rome. And then
Yeah.
I appeared this academy, and same thing like before, right place at the right time. The academy opened like in September, so it was
Hmm.
the month after I texted. So
Yeah.
the promoter, the owner of the academy, it was Pierpaolo Pollina, so the Italian
Hmm.
gladiator. answered me back and said that next month we will open in that place. And the great thing about that school, it was a place with a ring and just wrestling inside. So it was a
Okay.
big place. It was like arena.
Yeah.
So like a big training center, like a small performance center.
Yeah.
Just a ring inside. It was big. At that time it was the only one in Europe with the ring,
Mm-hmm.
like they own ring.
Yeah.
So I remember I was able to train every day from Monday to Friday for 4 to 8 p.m. So 4 hours a day. And that was great because it's not like a gym or that you go a few hours and
Yeah.
Tommy, or maybe you have a ring, but just for a few days. He has the key. So whatever you want to go, when you want to go,
Yeah.
uh, you had time to train. And that helped me so much because they in the ring every single day definitely helped me a lot. And then we start working with TVs. So at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, it's local TV, and then become national TV with
Mm-hmm.
European Pro Wrestling. So on
Oh
the
yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
yeah, I worked there too, and as a pro wrestler, so definitely help you. And then other TV shows, like Italia's Got Talent with
Mm-hmm.
NWE. So when you start so young and you start already working with cameras, when the TV shows and product like that, definitely help you so much to understand how is this business. Then I had a great trainers because both of my trainer went to the States for
Mm-hmm.
to train with Killer Kowalski one, and the other one
Okay.
Harley Race and Ruth
Okay.
Alex. But unfortunately for them, they never worked here, so they trained in the
Mm-hmm.
States, and then they came back and they teach us how you have to train and everything. So I was really lucky about it because they explained me immediately how was this business. If you want to do this business, is for life. So
Yeah.
it's not like joke versus joke, it's life versus life. So it's 24/7, and maybe you have to sacrifice your family and everything. In my case, I sacrificed everything because I left my everything, my city, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. If you want to do this business, a lot of sacrifice that you want to do. So they told me that immediately. So that was nice too, and because you understand immediately if you want to do it or not. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not in between, or you do it to be a pro wrestler, or it's not like other sports that you can play for fun. It definitely like it's not even smart. It's not a good
Yeah.
idea. You can have a lot of injuries,
Yeah.
and
You can get hurt.
it doesn't affect it is affect your body. So it's not like doing yoga. So they definitely could do something to be in shape. It's not that good. So that was definitely like I have to say thank you to them every single time. I'm keep in touch with them. One
Mm-hmm.
of them, the other not that much. He doesn't have social, but one of them I keep in touch. So I would say thank you because if here in the States they appreciate so much my works and they respect me so much as a name, it because how they trained me in the past.
Oh
Because
yeah.
you can learn everything here, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So that was
From
good.
what from what you're saying, I sense that you maybe have had more experience like in the States when we're talking about indie wrestling. I mean, than Europe, or did you travel to other companies in Europe as well before moving to the US?
I work in Europe as well. Not like in United States, of course, because I have more years here,
Yeah.
but I work many promotion in Europe too. For example, I've been in England with IPWK, so I
Yeah.
work. And me and other wrestlers were the only Italians working for IPW. So I never.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
And in 2013 you moved to New York.
I working in Austria and in Belgium, so different places. But
Yeah.
definitely not that much because I moved in 2013. So from 2013 to now,
Yeah.
of course, there's more years, 7 years. So I definitely
Yeah.
work in the States than in Italy. Even with the NWE, we work in with the Italians Got Talent, past the semifinal. So that was a great result too in wrestling. You know, in our country,
Yeah.
it's not that famous, and a lot of people criticize what we do. because
Yeah.
probably is not how do you say in English? I don't know the word.
Yeah, there's a stigma on the society.
Yeah, like is not a good education for children, but I
Yeah.
don't know how to say in English.
Prejudice.
Tu sai,
Probably.
voilà. You,
Yeah. Probably something like a prejudice or something like that.
yes, pretty much
Yeah.
about wrestling. So fake or violent too much, so it's not good. But so we passed the semifinal and we were close to the final, so definitely like it's a great result because they call us and to do the tryout. So we passed all the tryout. We've been part of the program. And then we passed 2 rounds, then semifinal live in front of all the nation. So it was a great experience. And then after that, we started a tour with NWE
Yeah.
all around the country. And um, I work with a lot of great talent, former WWE, and even guys from England. So it was a great
Yeah.
experience. And then after that, I decided maybe I'm ready to try like a new experience, and I had a few choices, but I pick also Hardcore, so Tommy Dreamer in New York. So I moved there, and the funny thing, I moved, uh, without a house. So I have
Okay.
like 5 days of the hotel. In 5 days, I have to find a house. I have to see the promotion. So I did the first day, and the first day I found a house immediately, and Tommy Dreamer accepted me as a pro wrestler. So not like a beginners, but immediately ready to work for the shows. So, and then I start working over there
Yeah.
with also Hardcore and other promotion around. So around New York, Pennsylvania. But the first 2 years, so I did back and forth because when you finish visa,
Yeah.
you have to come back. So
Yes.
if you want to become illegal, definitely I don't want it because we work on a TV. So one day you want to work, and the TV is not a good idea to
Yeah.
become illegal for so many reasons. So I came back, and so the first 2 years, in 24 months, I was in the States 11 months. So you don't have
Okay.
to consider 2 years. And in between, when I came back, I worked with the stuntman,
Okay.
So I did 3 movies, cinema movies,
Okay.
in my because they knew that I was a pro wrestler. So, and they contacted me to be participated for the movies. So that was a good experience too. They treated really well too. It's great. It's great. Even because it was a good movie like Nanni Moretti and few
Oh
people
yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
definitely movies.
Which
And
are big names in Italy.
these are big names. Yeah, of course. Even Ficarra e Picone. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Let me explain. Let me explain for our audience. Are like two comedians, and I don't know if we can compare them to somebody from the United States, but yeah.
no, maybe not Adam
No.
Sandler. Less than that. Less than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. More or less. More or less. But still, like there are still big budget movies, so to be featured in is a.
And it's good because you're part of the movie, so you acting too at the same time. You're not like so you like an actor
Yeah.
because you're not like a comparsa.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't how do you say in English.
Like you. Oh, I don't know that as well at the moment. Well,
No,
you
you're not an extra that you go there, you
yeah,
have to
you're not an extra.
the the actors. You're part
Yeah.
of the cast, so it's definitely like different treatment, different payment, and even different role. So and so I did 3 movies in total because the other one was with Gabriele Mainetti,
Oh yeah.
the famous uh,
Yeah.
um,
Another director.
director. Yes, yeah, that was the word, director. And then in 2015 I came back and nothing, and then I have a permanent residence, so I start working like definitely like here and in the States, but I still was in New York. So, and I walk all around, even in Nashville, South, in Florida here, even if I didn't live here.
Yeah.
And then when I was booked here in Orlando, AFA, so the Wild Samoan,
Yeah.
um, like my job, and he asked me like if I was able to move down or come down more often. So I was talking to my wife and said maybe for us after like 40 years is a good idea to move down. We didn't like the winter that much. I'm not a big fan about New York City,
Okay.
in general, New York. I don't know why I always prefer Boston than New York.
Oh
And
well, they say that Boston is pretty European as a city, so probably that's why.
no, but it's beautiful. Even the culture and the people, everything. I've been so many times over there. That's why maybe. Uh, and nothing. So we decided, yeah, okay, we moved down. And so October 2017, so end of 17, we moved down, and then I started working here in Orlando. So now is more than 2 years, so not that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Well, more or less, you're close to 3 years, I would
Close
say.
to 3 years, yeah, right? Yeah, October 2020. Yeah, close to 3 years. Oh yeah, we're already in September.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. With the pandemic, time moved fast. I
Yeah,
know. I know. And you said you also had experience with the WWE.
yeah.
When did you wrestle for them?
I wrestled last year, July 22nd,
Uh-huh.
and in Tampa. I wrestled
Mm.
three times in less than 5 months,
Okay.
because they let me where they called me like in July, then October on
Yeah.
NXT, and then again in November 18 in Boston. See, in
Hmm.
Boston,
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw. So the first match I worked Strowman.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been on the national newspapers too, Gazzetta
Oh,
dello Sport, Il Corriere. So
yeah, yeah.
that the big things, because when you work Monday Night Raw, it was Raw Reunion with a lot of legends, and
Oh, yeah.
I was the first Italian male citizen working for WWE in a
Oh,
history.
yeah.
So it was a big impact for our country. So a lot of newspapers were talking about that too. And the funny thing, so maybe it's good for me that the July 22nd is the day the Roma team. So I said Roma was born. So it's even a good day in my case.
Okay.
And then they call me every time they call me back that I work. So in NXT, it was October 2nd. So it was the first time the NXT was live,
Hmm.
Wednesday. And I did a tag match. And then in November in Boston, it was against Eric Rowan. And they involved the
Okay.
24/7 title with the Bollywood guys and
Okay.
our and the segment. So in between the match, we were involved. So I did like a crossbody outside on the Bollywood guys.
Okay.
And of course, it was still, how they match goes in this case, like 5 minute match, maybe less, like 3-4
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
It's a great opportunity. So a lot of people like complain or say like, oh, why, I don't know, they, you're just like a squash match or stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Eh, what I try to explain to a lot of people, or maybe the wrestling fans, the people know
Hmm.
the business or in general know how wrestling it is. They really love this because they don't see only if you win. But a lot of kids, a
Yeah.
lot of wrestling fans, if you don't win, oh, why didn't let you win, or why you didn't win, or stuff like that. And I explained that it's my job.
Oh, yeah.
So if they pay you, it's the same like an actor. So if you have a role in Hollywood for a movie that win a Oscar, even if
Yeah.
you say like 3 words, and you're there just for 10 minutes in a movie, they pay you. It's your
Yeah.
job. So you an actor and work in Hollywood, that matters. That's what they let you do. It's, of course, everybody want to do more, absolutely, yes, but it's still your job. So, and for us, never have anybody
Yeah.
working in this business, pretty much anybody besides Bruno Sammartino. But Bruno Sammartino went to the States at 9 years old, so
Yeah.
definitely it's more Pittsburgh heroes than Italian one, because at 9 years, it's different
Yeah.
when you get
Yeah.
that so it's good to be here. That's what I try to explain. Of course, we want to do more. We don't have to be happy. Um, Not even me. I want to do more every single time, but I repeat in every single interview and every single time I have the time to explain to the people that we have to be grateful and happy to be here and to compete and have a stage,
Hmm.
to have an opportunity to compete, even if 5 minutes for now. Because before, like 10 years old, when I started, we didn't exist. It
Yeah.
was it was a dream just to be in a backstage and sharing the locker room with these people. It's like
Oh yeah.
become an astronaut. I remember that when I started, a lot of people were talking about WWE like really so far. Now we here, we work with them 3 times. Of course, I don't want to be remembered for that 3 times. I want to do more in my career and every single time. But it doesn't matter companies, but in general, you don't want to be
Yeah.
remembered for 1 match or 2 matches. For definitely something more. But for now, guys, it's still good. That's what
Oh
I
yeah.
care about. That.
Yeah, yeah, you're totally right. People tend to underestimate that fact, especially if you come from a place like Italy, where when the 10 years ago there was no wrestling scene basically, and even now is not that common to find a wrestling show or stuff like that. So just being a part.
Is wrestling is an entertainment. So not
Yeah,
because you lose, it's not like boxing that you lose, you're not good.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's different. They have to understand it's the opposite.
Oh yeah,
It's probably the opposite. If you make the wrestler like so devastating, maybe
yeah.
because you that good that you sell that good. So wrestling is opposite. The same in the cinema. If not because the actor die, it's not good,
Oh
or
yeah,
because he had like a role like I don't know, Patty Day in Troy. So
yeah.
not because Patty Day had that character in Troy. Orlando Bloom is not good. Orlando Bloom is a great actor. So
Oh
then
yeah,
then he played that character in that movie, but it's not like other competing sports. It's different. Not
oh yeah.
because you lose in 5 minutes, you're not good. It doesn't work like that. You don't lose it. You don't win for real. It's completely different. It's a
Yeah,
show.
and if that show, even for a few minutes, will get you a little bit of media coverage. For example, I'm sure you remember a few days ago, I found out on the Whatculture website that your match with Lance Archer was placed like the number one on the best list of the matches of that edition of AEW Dark. So that's a huge accomplishment for an Italian wrestler to be recognized by such a famous wrestling website, and
A lot of fan base. We have Italy, like in Italy, wrestling likes a lot. The point
yeah,
is that a lot of people they lose faith or hope because they don't see Italian pro wrestlers that much.
hmm
So sometimes, when you really like something, but pretty much you don't see schools, you don't know how to train, or you don't have anybody, then if you don't have a really strong character, you quit.
oh yeah,
Even the people you, well, no, this, no, why you like wrestling? But to my fans in general, when I have the opportunity to talk with them
hmm
on interviews or stuff like, I always explain like, guys, trust me, it's possible. I started like you. I was the same fan in Italy, and I'm here, and we're
oh yeah,
working. It means that it's possible. So don't listen people around you or probably negative vibes, and just like we can have a position in this business.
yeah,
Yeah, the the comparison with soccer for us. If you come
hmm
from up, not so many players come in Italian National League or in Europe and do very well. It's a few names like Weah, Drogba, and
yeah,
Eto'o. So it's few names, and you have to do the same things for us in wrestling. We're the third word of wrestling,
oh yeah,
but it doesn't mean that we can be there. Why not? And that's my inspiration pretty much. So when they tell me what's your goal, it doesn't matter what kind of company you sign or what you achieve. My big message is to be an inspiration one day. I want my name to be remembered for the next generation. And see, like that guy was like me and he did it. My father wasn't a wrestler. I watched wrestling by myself. Nobody liked it in my schools or my friends. Nobody liked it. I started like texting, like I said, a company in Rome and an academy in Rome just to start training. I
yeah,
moved it myself. I didn't know anybody in the States. I moved it by myself without family, without anybody. And I'm here. So it's mean that it's possible for us. And that's the big goal that I have, the biggest one. Be an
yeah,
inspiration for people. Don't lose faith and don't trust or don't listen people around you not that much. Listen everybody, but at the end of don't listen anybody. So I listen all the advice because it's correct to listen, but at the end of the day, make your own decision, because one day, even if I don't sign with anybody, or I don't know, I don't have any regrets. I'm doing my best, really, like training every day and doing my best. Then if someone likes you, good. If someone doesn't like you, you can be another person. It's you. So, but do your best, do your part at the best, and you don't have regrets one day. I don't have it.
Yeah, that's a hell of a inspirational speech. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I can relate to that as well, because for me it was the same story, because I didn't have many friends who like or even knew about wrestling. So I decided to watch it by myself and start a podcast after a few years. So yeah, I totally get that. And now before we go, the last question is mandatory. What's the future for D3?
The future is like always the same. The same idea that I have every single year. Uh, do every single time the next step. So I always say that I don't want to rest for my life.
Hmm.
I don't want to become ridiculous one day at like 60 years old if I'm not able to be in the same shape and the same
Yeah,
level. Well, of course, if you like Dustin Rhodes and Rey Mysterio, these people,
yeah,
Randy Orton, they, even if they're close to 50 or like Taker, they still in a great shape. They do like a great matches. They have
yeah,
great time. So of course, but if I see that I'm not on the same level and I'm not in a great shape, I don't feel myself great like I was before. So I want to retire. So my goal pretty much, or what I want to do in the future, is every single time be better
yeah,
than time. So of course, it's signed with one companies, or pretty much uh leave a mark in this business. Then it doesn't matter. A lot of people, you prefer this. I don't prefer anybody. Uh, let's see what they propose. They propose you something, is open another door. Don't close any door. Don't limit it yourself. If tomorrow morning something happens and I have to go in Japan and work in there, it's fine to go in Japan, go in Mexico. So my goal in the future is not going like sign 100% with AW because I have to, or WWE, or
yeah,
what kind of name. So of course I start like a path with AW. So I would like to continue this path with them. Absolutely, yes. Why not?
yeah,
So, but the most important thing could just do be better every single time. So always like go to the next step, next step, next step. And when I see that, I don't know, around 37, 38, or around 40, or maybe before, if I see that I'm not in the big leagues, or my name is not that big, I
hmm,
retire. I don't want to work. Uh, I don't want to unrespect anybody, but I don't want to work in indies
yeah,
my life.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Then
you know,
that makes sense.
leave a mark in this business, and they treat me very well because they pay me every time I work. So I live with the pro wrestling, and that's something that I like it. But at the same time, you know, I have a different vision. One day, I want to come back and pass all the experience that I have
Yeah,
to my country, because I don't want people repeat my story. I don't want people leave his country, his city, his family. I miss Rome so much every single day. I don't. I miss my brother and all the friends over there. Everything, even the
yeah,
atmosphere or people over there. And I don't want the people have to repeat my story. Come here just because we don't have an option. If you wanna if you want to go to another country, have to be an option, not an obligation, because it doesn't exist. It's different.
yeah.
For example, for you, and then I don't want to like talk too much, but just try to explain you the idea.
Don't worry, don't worry.
I want to open like a university of wrestling in my
Yeah,
country and pass the culture. And no, it's not like academy. It's like a university. So you have to recognize as a pro wrestler as like a doctor, because
yeah,
we deserve the same respect. Absolutely, yes. And to do this in our country now is not like this.
hmm,
In soccer, if you want to play soccer, you have an Italian national league, and then you have an option if you want it to go in Spain, go in England or other part of the world is an option. You don't have to go in this country because it doesn't exist soccer. For
Yeah.
us, it's like this. If you want to play a certain level, wrestling, want to work, you have to go in other countries. And why Mexico has wrestling, Japan has, England has, even Germany now. And
Yeah.
they to go when I worked against Germany guy, he had this. They had the same level, like we have now. So why they evolve, we're not, and in America too. So why we can have our own first league, and then if you want it, you can do other experience too, but have to be an option. So in the future, to finish the speech, pretty much, uh, and talk too much,
Don't
but
worry.
after I finish my career, and that's why I hope to have like a big name so I can have a big influence to other people. I want to come back, open a university of wrestling, and help people to be legally a pro wrestler in our country and live in this business. And then if they want to go to the States, it's your option, it's your decision. You don't have
Oh
to.
yeah.
In my
Oh yeah.
case, to.
Yeah, you're totally right. That's great. And I probably you still keep an eye on the Italian wrestling scene. And is there somebody that you'll be want to work for your University of Wrestling? Somebody that you think that will fit to be experienced enough to pass that knowledge?
I wanna one of my dream is definitely like come back and working again in Rome in a big stage. So
Yeah.
like Automatica, so in a big
Yeah. Yeah.
place like that, or in a big show. So I always pay attention about Italian scene, and I have a lot of friends too, like pro wrestlers fans,
Yeah.
friends, and so I'm planning in a near future, so not that far, an early future, to work in Italy too. Even because
Mhm.
after what I did here, it's good uh, to say thank you to all the Italian fans. They were awake and watched my matches at 1 a.m. in AW or WWE. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good publicity for the Italian movement to come back and bring D3 after so many years that I don't work there. My last match was in 2013 in September. So after 7 years,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say taking advantage, but taking advantage is in a positive way. So I
Yeah.
think the Italian movement have to take an advantage about my name to bring me back. And you know how many people they come and just pay the ticket and go there just because you've been in over there or WWE or AEW whatever.
Oh yeah.
And so it would be a great uh you know, publicity for the Italian movement. That's why um, now with the pandemic we're not able to fly, but definitely like around next year, I would like to come back and work in, for example, like I would like to work two names, or
Hmm.
Red Scorpion or Red
Yeah.
Devil, or Fabio
Okay.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
So I think it should be interesting to see one of the best Italian wrestlers because in Italy they're the two
Yeah.
best, the main names. So and the best one probably internationally working uh, against them, or even Akira. So
Oh yeah.
is Italian guy, but he's
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
young.
He was on the show. I interviewed him. I did an interview with him.
Never met him because he started like really young. I was already in the States when he started in our country, but he texted me, so I appreciate that he texted me, and even if I didn't know him, and I think he's a nice guy, and because he did the same path that I did, so
Yeah.
moving.
He's such a cool kid. He's in Japan now. He's
Yeah. AJPW, like
AJPW. Yeah.
all Japan.
All Japan.
So, so, who better than me can understand what kind of sacrifice is doing because I moved it years before, so I
Oh
know
yeah.
that means. And I would like it. Why not to have a match with one of these three? Because I think
Okay.
I'm sure. No, I think 100% sure, 100% it would be a great investment for our country to build a show and with a lot of um oh damn I always say in Italian
Hype. No?
Yeah, a lot of hype
Expectation?
station, and we can sell a lot of ticket, a lot of
Oh, yeah.
sponsors, because I did so many interview with Fox, with even like I said, with La Repubblica, with Corriere dello Sport. So and
National newspapers in Italy.
this guy told me if I come back in Italy, they interesting 100% to do like a project or something,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I can involve these people into the show. That's why it can bring a lot of great things. That's why I would like to come back, not just in the future, but even like, I don't want to say now, but around this time. And because it could be a great publicity for our country.
Yeah, that's the same advice that Speedball Mike Bailey gave me in another episode of the podcast. They say that's the only way to create a scene. Once you have a few experienced wrestlers who experience like the United States or Japan, and they come back and they can pass the knowledge and build a scene, a proper wrestling scene from that. That's the only way. Well, Daniele, D3, thank you so much for this chat. Before we go, plug all of your channels. Where can we find you online, on social media, merchandise, everything? Plug all you have to plug.
Okay, merchandise. So I have my own website. So it's official d3officialmerch.com. So the number 3 official merch.com, and they can find all my merch, a lot of things, I even have a coffee machine, so my personal one, so customized coffee machine with a gladiator helmet, so they
Cool.
can have t-shirts, pictures with my signature, or everything, polo hats. So, and it's my own website, and I have 2 storage here in the States and 1 in Rome. So
Okay.
if you're Italian, you can, or in Europe, they can ship you from there. And I
Okay.
did it because I have a collaboration at the same time with Pro Wrestling Tees too
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
the States. But so many people told me like the tax shipping, it was high, so that's
Yeah.
why it was more than one. So that's why during the lockdown, I said like let me work and open my website, so
Oh, yeah.
you can check in on it. And we worked on that website for like 2 3 months to try to do like really well, and really like beautiful even to see it. And then so Instagram is D3 Roma,
Mm-hmm.
but I always say that in every social media, so Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and even YouTube, I have my YouTube channel
Oh,
too. um we're like 2K subscribers, so we're
whoa. That's pretty
good.
good.
And if they tape like Prince of Rome D3, I'm the only one, I appear immediately. And
Okay.
in Facebook, I always say like go to the Facebook fan page, because a lot of people like send me the request on the personal one, but I'm not able to accept anybody anymore because I'm more than 5,000. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of people don't click it because I'm not able to accept it. So just go to the fan page. It's still me. And but if you take Prince of Rome D3 in every single social, you can find me. But it exists just me pretty much.
Okay. Well, D3, thank you so much. And I can't wait to see your match. Once you come back in Italy, I can't wait to see you here. I'm going to be there, be sure. Okay.
I was planning to come back in August of this year, but the pandemic stopped my.
Yeah.
Then I did so AEW, so it was fine. It's good. It's good. Maybe I'm thinking now in June, next June, maybe to come
Yeah.
back if everything going right, because the airport, we're not able to go there now. So even if I
Yeah.
uh they don't accept us. So even if I'm Italian citizen, I don't know if they accept me if I come back, or I have to stay 15 days.
No,
And
I think you can't leave the United States at the moment.
no, that's so for that, if everything going right, of course, around May and June, I have to, for many reasons. Like I said, I have a lot of project over there, uh, with feel like documentary and stuff that I have to do it. So I would like,
Okay.
because a lot of project like that, always wrestling project, not just. And of course, I would like to work too. And
Of course.
but it doesn't depend from me because I'm not a promoter. So. Uh, they have to build a show and book me there.
Yeah.
But,
well, that would be lovely to have you back next June, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
where
Well,
where you are, where do you live
in
in Italy?
Ancona.
Oh,
Ancona.
okay, Marche.
Marche,
Okay.
yeah. So somebody who knows that. Okay.
Oh, of course I know,
A
because
lot
my
of people don't.
coworker, uh, that she was from Ancona.
Oh,
She
okay.
is. She's still alive, so she is.
Okay.
That's why I know the city. And yes,
Okay.
if I come back, maybe why not?
Yeah,
We can
we'll catch up.
live. Say that we can do even interviewing live. So
Of
definitely,
course. Of course. I will love to do that. I mean, we're like 3 hours away from Rome, which is nothing compared to the distance of the United States.
not only that, we have like a great trains because
Yes.
here, if you don't have a car, the buses and train they're not connect very well
Yeah.
personally. Not that much. If you don't have a car in our country, in Europe in general, you're
Yeah.
able even to go in Monaco or Paris with a
Yeah.
train. That's
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. Uh, that's why it's definitely easier. If I come back, I already have like few people and like I said, few projects in different cities. So maybe I have to go to Bologna or Milano. So
Yeah.
I don't just stay home. I have to do like probably like move all around.
A few trips around Italy.
Yeah, because you take an advantage still in a positive way because I have to come back. So I like to enjoy these things. And a lot of people told me that like we would like to do these things when you come back. And in Italy we have a lot of projects. Okay, I'm really available with everybody pretty much. So because I like
Mhm.
what I do, so I like to talk to
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah, that was a great chat. D3, thank you so much and a presto. Ciao.
Ciao, 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 un bacione.
Ciao.